This is a full room. I love it. So I'm going to start with some introductions. I know we're all friends here, but I'm Jane Melendez. I'm the program manager here in the Pioneer Valley. And then this is our lovely Tessa Murphy-Ramboletti, and she's our director, so she's in charge of all the fundraising for the program. I think some of you got to meet her last night, but she will be here at some point tonight, okay? All right. So what is EforAll? And we have some people streaming in. We have some family and friends streaming in as well. EforAll is a nonprofit organization that was created to support entrepreneurs in the early stages of starting a business. And the way that they do that is that they provide mentorship and accelerator program, a 12-week intense accelerator program that provides a curriculum in regards to running the back end of running your business. So we have entrepreneurs coming to us because they have a service or a product, but they don't necessarily know how to run the back end of running the business, and that's pricing their product, marketing, selling it, some of the legalities in regards to running a business, so that's what we do. We have about 13 sites in and out of the state, and in 2026, we're gonna go completely virtual, which is very exciting. Yes. Whew, I'm a little hot. All right, so here are some of our stats, and this is where we show you that it works, right? We're a nonprofit, we work really hard, and this is the impacts that we've been able to have with the entrepreneurs that we've been helping out. We've helped over 1,700 entrepreneurs, and that's an overall number with all of our sites just in 2023. And out of those entrepreneurs and those businesses, they've been able to generate over $56 million in revenue and provide over 2,200 jobs. That's amazing. It works. So who are the business owners that are going through our program? 76% are women-owned business owners. 74% of them are BIPOC-owned, and then 34% are immigrant-owned business owners that are going through our EforAll program. Most importantly, I think this is one of the numbers that is most important to us, is that after going through our program, these businesses are still active at year 3, and that's 8% above the US average, and that's pretty amazing. We're a nonprofit, and I think we get this question a lot, and say, you're not profit, we're not paying for these services, so how do you guys do it? How do you guys have, you're working, you have these volunteers, you have, you're giving out awards, you're having all these events, how do you do it? And we can't do it without these supporters. These are our funders, so Santander, People's Bank, MGCC, Bank ESB, the Beverage Foundation, the City of Holyoke, Liberty Bank, Citizens Bank, the Davis Foundation. Without them, we can't do what we do. Mass Mutual Foundation. So thank you so much for our partners. They really make this happen for us. And then congratulations to my Summer 25 cohort. This is them. Big round of applause. They've stuck by me for the past 12 weeks, so it's been nice. All right, so why are we here today, judges? We are here because the entrepreneurs they've been with me for the past 12 weeks. In the curriculum, they've been taking classes. It's been intense, they've been anxious, it's been a lot. They've been learning so much in the past 12 weeks. So you're gonna learn today who they are, what their business is. You're gonna be learning about the goals that they set for themselves in the 3 months that they've been in the program. You're going to learn about who their ideal customer is, what their value proposition is. You're also gonna learn about their 18-month work plan. You're gonna learn about their feasibility and sustainability, numbers. They love their numbers. This is where they're gonna be able to show whether this business is gonna make it or not. You're gonna learn about the organization operations. What is it gonna take to run this business? You're gonna learn about their why. Why are they doing this? What's their impact? What are they giving back at the end? And then you're gonna learn about their ask. Basically, this is my business, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need to get on to the next phase. So the details. Most importantly, I'm not listening to Scott today, and I'm sorry, he's in the back, but entrepreneurs, please try your best to stay right here at the X. Try to speak into the microphone. as best as you can. I know some of us wander. I'm guilty for that, but just try your best to stay here. You have 10 minutes to present. After you present, we're gonna have the judges go ahead and ask 10 minutes of questions. And how are we gonna track the time? We have Josh over there. Josh is gonna be tracking time for me. So he will be raising those time cards up for the entrepreneur. So as you're presenting, make sure that you look at Josh every so often, just making sure that you're staying on time with your presentation. And then I'll be keeping track of time when the judges are asking questions. If we have more time, I'll let you know, and if we don't, I'll be like, hard stop, judges, let's go, okay? I'm gonna have my judges introduce themselves. So we'll start here with Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin Bunch. Currently work for VentureWell based out of Hadley, but we work nationally helping scientists and engineers spin out companies based on their innovation. And I have a background working with small business development.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm Anita Eliason. I work for the Massachusetts Small Business Development Center, and we provide free one-on-one confidential counseling for small businesses.
I'm Maureen Sullivan, and I have my own marketing and PR and events firm, and my background is in the newspaper industry, and I've been a mentor before for EforAll and also a judge, so welcome all of you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn Creighton. I'm the Community Outreach Officer for Liberty Bank. I'm also on the Advisory Council for EforAll. I love EforAll. I have a passion for entrepreneurs. In our role with Liberty Bank, we have a program called Academy for Small Business, and we partner with EforAll. So when you graduate from EforAll, you can go into our Academy for Small Business, go through a 5-week tuition-free program, and if you meet certain qualifications, you can get a $5,000 credit line. And I'd love to see the graduates from EforAll come through our program. It's a really nice compliment. And this is the second time I've been a judge, and I love it and I hate it all at the same time. I love hearing all the cool things that you're all doing, but it's really, really hard. It's like that moment as a mom. I have 3 kids. Like, how do you say which kid is your favorite? You can't. So that's it.
That's tough. That's tough. Hi, everyone. My name is Robin Wozniak, and I'm the Executive Director for the West of the River Chamber of Commerce, serving West Springfield and Agawam.
This is so cute. Hi, everybody. My name is Tiffany Alisha, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Springfield Creative City Collective, and we work to revitalize the Springfield and surrounding areas economy through advocacy, program, and events, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff.
One more round of applause for my amazing judges. I was just sharing yesterday and a little bit today that these next 3 days of final presentations, well, now next 2 days, it's special. Our judges are all volunteers who have been with us for quite some time. I made sure to tap into our EforAll directory and make sure that I bring back my volunteers who've been with us. So thank you so much for coming again every time I ask. Thank you. All right, so who's ready to hear some presentations? All right, I love that. I only had to say it once, so I love it. Thank you. All right, so first up is Laconia and Tanita, Springfield Family Doula Services. Come on up. All right, so here's the clicker. You click to the right, and when you are ready, you let Josh know, and we'll start the time.
Okay. Josh, we're ready. Imagine this. You're pregnant for the second time. You're excited, your husband is excited, you want a positive birth this time around. Fast forward to 39 weeks, your water breaks, you're excited, you call your midwife, she says, don't come in until you're having close contractions. Speed up, it's now time to go to the hospital. Your husband calls your birth team, your doula, your mom, your sister. You arrive to the hospital and bombarded with questions. What's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your address? What kind of insurance do you have? Soon after that, the midwife comes in. She comes in and checks you, 4 centimeters dilated. You're now admitted into the hospital. As you're walking to the room, your doula arrives, and every 2 to 3 steps, you stop because the contractions are so unbearable to walk through. Your doula comes behind and provides comfort measures. Again, you take 2 to 3 more steps. Your doula comes behind and provides comfort measures. You finally get into your room and sit on your bed, and what happens next? Your nurse asks questions again. What's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your address? What kind of health insurance do you have? Never did they ask, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? How can I help you? Immediately after that, the contractions became unbearable. Imagine her laying into bed, and contractions are now nonstop, no break in between. She leans over to her midwife and nurse and says, I feel like I need a push. The nurse says, don't push, you'll rupture your membranes. A couple of minutes passed. She said, I feel like I need to push. The nurse again says, you'll rupture your membranes. Next thing you know, her doula leans over and whispers, listen to your body. At that moment, you see her relax, and a grunt that everyone can hear in this room as her husband is saying, she said she needs to push. She said she needs to push. Please, somebody check her. The nurse then goes over and pulls up the blanket. There goes a head. She panics. I need help. Your birth team comes in. This is birth. Hi, my name is Laconia Fennel, and I am that birthing mother.
And my name is Tanita Council. I am the doula.
Since 2020, we've been dedicated to providing doula services to pregnant and postpartum families in our community through education, through support, and informed consent. We believe that every birth is very sacred and vulnerable, one that deserves continuous support throughout and have an informed consent.
This is our team. Laconia and I have been Springfield Family Doulas, co-founders of Springfield Family Doulas since 2020. So 5 years we have been in business. And this year, with the direction of EforAll, we have actually got independent contractors along within our team. And then within our independent contractors and ourselves, we empower, educate, support, advocate for women in our community, as well as care for them.
So with the EforAll program, we came up with 4 goals. Out of those, the 4 goals, we decided that, okay, this partnership is not working. How can we, it was working, but we were growing and we needed to change it. What kind of legal structures would be more effective? And we decided on an LLC. So we're working on that. Also, we came up with 3 financial models with our mentors, with the help of our mentors. And those models really looked at what are we doing now, what can we do, and let's do a reach one to see what that looks like. And within that, we were able to see, wow, we're making money here. Maybe we should do these more often. We're not really making money here. Let's cut those out. So it really gave us an overlook at what we've been doing for the last 5 years. Then we also came up with 30 marketing strategies on how to get leads. And out of those 30, we decided to choose 3 that were low-cost methods. And that's been really cool. I'll show you on the next slide. And then our reach goal was offer a paid childbirth class. And we were able to do that, and that's on the calendar. And we'll be holding that at Springfield Public Library. So we're excited for that one.
So within this program, we identified our segments and our value. Within our segments, we identified we are looking at first and foremost, pregnant women, first-time pregnant women who are, just looking for the experience, looking for some advocacy, looking for some empowerment when it comes to their first birth. Another segment we identified was people who have identified with a traumatic birth. So they've already had traumatic births their second time around, and this time they want a more empowering, a more caring, identified people there. Next thing we also identify with people who want somebody who looks like them, who they're familiar with throughout the whole time, from prenatal, postpartum, labor, and delivery. Somebody who they can connect with, somebody who they can actually have similar culture with.
So these are some of the new partnerships that we've gained within EforAll and some other partnerships that we're strengthening as well. And within these, we will be doing birth classes, prenatal and postpartum support, and then also what is a doula, so info sessions. This right here is financial feasibility and sustainability. So this is what we project for the next 18 months. Tanita's going to be passing out just a detailed version of that as well. So what's in plan for the next 18 months? We really are trying to make sure we get that foundation down, which is the LLC that we talked about, strengthening our partnerships and having new partnerships for referrals. Also visibility, we're doing info sessions so people know what doulas are and what insurance covers it, because we are mass health providers, we cover that. We also are Health New England, that'll be starting in the beginning of next year. So we wanna make sure people know what they can access. Also community engagement, we're thinking about those prenatal and postpartum classes and actually doing series and also having contracts with the different health facilities around. And then we think about scaling. As we're growing and we're having more referrals, we need to be doing more doula trainings. We are doula trainers, so we are able to do doula trainings and mentorships, and the hope is to have part-time doula employees. And then the expansion piece is really refining all of that work, because it's going to be ongoing and expanding from there. So organization and operations, we've been in positive cash flow for the last 5 years, but right now we need to grow. So that's refining everything, doing the LLC. How many births does it take for Tanita and I to both be full-time doulas? 72 births. And then once that is, we would love to add on part-time doulas so they're able to take on births as well. Our social impact. So we think of decrease in maternal health disparity. We think of I was going to have you add, but we really think of decrease in maternal health disparity. We think of positive births, because positive births equals healthy moms, healthy babies, healthy families. So every little bit helps. Tanita will be passing out an itemized list of what we're asking for. We're asking for $2,200. With that $2,200, we're asking for $1,300 for birth education equipment. With the increase of our referrals, we're going to be holding larger classes, so we want to make sure we have the equipment to be able to do that. We are also asking for $900, which is for filing and lawyer fees for our LLC. Thank you.
Okay, judges, you can start asking questions.
This is more advice, I guess, at the beginning. I think just like tell your story and own it, and then because you've obviously built you built all this stuff out of that. So I think it just, and I think you wanted to, so just make it simple. It seems like part of the scaling thing is like you could start pulling in a lot of doulas. Do you all want to stay connected to that work, or do you see yourself more, training and running things? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. So we'd love to train the doulas that will be working with us, because then we can kind of fill them out and know that they're there they can understand what our mission is. So that's helpful. And then also there's so many births happening. We need more doulas in the world. So we do want to keep that training position too.
Also, whenever we have a training or a mentorship, we always let people know that this is not a field that you can gatekeep. This is something that you can definitely go out and help people, because moms need moms to help when it comes to that situation.
I have a question. I'm going to share a little personal note too. First of all, thank you for going into this work. Like when I say your work is life or death, it's really a big deal. I've had 3 traumatic pregnancies. The last one, I'm now realizing years later, based off of information I'm getting, I had a retained placenta, did not even know. And that being said, there's been so much trauma that's come out of it that could have been prevented had I had an advocate by my side. That being said, I loved that group picture, and I saw a few different faces. I saw, was that Dr. Lucinda in there? Oh my goodness, if you could just talk a little bit about that. She is nationally known for her work in doulaship and womanhood and maternity. Do you guys have partnerships on that side? I know you have business partnerships, but it seems like you're fortifying academically and education-wise too. What's that relationship with, and what does that look like in the future?
Yeah, Dr. Lucinda Canty is amazing. We have been doing a couple of partnerships. She was pop in at our trainings, talk to the doulas about just doula work, birth work in general, how to work with the midwife, that relationship as well. It's all important. The more we have a tighter relationship within the healthcare system, the better off our client is.
Also, in note of that, to answer your question as well, we have done a 3-year grant with Bay State. And with that grant, we actually built a lot of connections with the midwives in that area. So when it comes to doulas, they do trust us.
That's great.
Just drop that in.
Yeah.
Find a way to work that in.
Yeah, that would be good in the pitch, for sure. Yeah, to add that.
Because some of those things, that's what kills some businesses. They can't handle it. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
I love the fact that you're going to bring in other people kind of as subcontractors, because it builds your team without you having the expense of that team, having to be absorbed by the business. But it's kind of the intersection of the impersonal nature of healthcare, which when you talked about that, what's your name, what's your birth, I mean, I haven't had a baby for 30 years, but, that's what happens now, right? I mean, and it happens no matter where you are. So you're really at the intersection of everyone feeling what healthcare has become today. And it's like the juxtaposition with like the happiest moment of your life. And it's like, like what's wrong with this picture, So I think it's wonderful. The fact that you're able to take Mass Health and now Health New England, I mean, to me, the only sort of challenge you have is really marketing. Because there's no reason why somebody wouldn't have an advocate enter the process with them, except for money. That would be a barrier to entry. And since that's not a barrier, I just see it as a marketing challenge. But I think you totally get it. And I think what you're doing is great. And if you ever want to do this for older people as well, sign, I could tell you 1,000 people that could use that hand holding.
I want to congratulate you on how you opened with the great storytelling.
Yeah.
And storytelling is really huge in marketing. And I think one question that I have is, how are you recruiting women who want to be doulas? Where do you go? How do you how are they aware that this exists and this might be a career for them?
That's a great question. Right now, for the last couple of years, we've been vending and we've been using social media, but we really want to get out to the places that we see our clients. Those are the ones that are going to be like, I want to help somebody because somebody helped me. Absolutely. So vending at different events, different healthcare facilities to get some of those people in.
That's great.
And the picture that you had seen with everybody there, with Dr. Lucinda there, that was actually one of our first doula trainings in Springfield as well. And with those people, they knew of us, they heard word of mouth, they've actually, seen us on social media, or they had a doula beside them who they wanted to actually contribute as well.
So I have one daughter that's done having children, and I have 2 other children that are getting ready to have children. They're by the grace of God. Yes. My question is, I think what you're doing is amazing, and thank you. Who's your competition?
That's a great question. We don't really have competition, especially out here in Springfield. We really made sure that we want to provide services for people in our community. A lot of times when we're pregnant, we're talking with healthcare folks or providers that are not in our community. So it was really important, and there's nobody else doing it right now. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We have time for
think-
several more questions.
Oh, sorry. Along those lines, have you found anyone that's like doing the model that you like, or from somewhere else that's doing it really well, or?
Yes, we reached out, and Tanita knows her very well, but we did reach out in Connecticut, and, you could probably touch on
I
that.
actually did an 18-month advanced doula course before we actually made this business. And it was,
Earth's Natural Touch.
yeah, thank you. Earth's Natural Touch, Advanced Doulas. It was, like I said, it was an 18-month course, and then after that, we did Yale, had to go to Yale University for another advanced course for doula care. And with the one her name is Sayana Honor, she is fantastic. And with her model, she actually helped us and guided us along the way when it came to us building our business in Springfield.
Yeah, she did a lot of the trial and error of different types of models and said, hey, this is what worked for me. This worked for me at the time when I was growing, but now I have expanded, so now this works for me. So she really showed us some things, yeah.
I don't know how to ask this question. So I'm going to ask it, and I'm not an attorney. And I hope there's not an attorney in the house. But so Bay State is obviously a partner of yours. Do they see you as a threat to their services because they got to bring somebody else in to provide a?
That's it. That's it.
No, they
yeah.
don't. But like, isn't
No,
this
they don't.
something that they should their staff should be doing?
I don't think so. They actually.
That's why I said I didn't know how to ask it.
Yeah. At the beginning, it was tough because when you come into a health facility that already has their own system, it's hard for new people and new systems to kind of disrupt that. But once they understood our position and where we were at and our role, it was better. For, like Tanita said, we had a 3-year grant. That 3-year grant was supposed to be over, but because it was so well, they extended it. And they told us that they never extend grants, but that one worked so well that they were able to extend it. So it did take time. It did take time for us to be incorporated into the system. The healthcare system?
Because everybody's used to their own way. So when it came to, we've changed a lot of things at Bay State, meaning doulas weren't able to go to We2, when you first get pregnant and you go to We2. With our system, but with us being there in the grant, now doulas can go to We2 and make sure that they're with their client. Another thing that we did change was we couldn't go back there into the C-section. We changed that. Now we're part of the birthing team, so we're allowed to go into the C-section as well as the prep area, because the partners can't go in the prep area, but the doulas can go into the prep area before the C-section as well, and that all changed with us with the grant that we had.
Yes.
That all should be in
Yeah.
your, that all
You
needs to.
don't realize how hard that is.
Yeah, I mean, right, that, you've broken through huge barriers, and the fact that a healthcare system's embraced you versus thinking, the competition's gonna come, that needs to be in your pitch.
It's
for
also
sure.
our personalities too. I'm gonna
You're a little pushy.
I work with med tech startups that would kill to be able to do that, to change anything about any of the process.
Yeah, one important piece of that too is we helped create a doula policy. So now Bay State does have a doula policy for all the other doulas that are going to be coming in as well.
I love that. When you get paid by the insurance companies, do you feel that they're allocating a fair wage for you to be doing this full time? Is this a viable living for people who are doulas based on the reimbursement rates that they're providing?
Can we go? Okay. It could always be increased. Mass Health, I think they have it on the lower end, but I also think it's a great start because us advocating, other doulas advocating, I think it's going to increase.
Go ahead.
Oh, because we do spend a lot of time with our client, especially us personally. We're cousins, and so we actually treat everybody like family that comes along with our business. So they end up calling us, texting us all throughout the night or whatever, but they want to actually have their questions answered and they want to feel like they are part of something, and we do make them feel that way.
I would just like to reiterate that all those different elements that do the judges' questions that you were able to describe, that has to be in your pitch going forward. You're talking about systemic change, especially in the healthcare system, is insane. And the fact that you're not doing this through the State House or some other entity, but actually through practicum, that's a huge story. And other people, revenue sources can open up for that. And then when you pull in the piece with mitigating some of the very serious statistics when it comes to childbirth, especially for Black and brown women and people of low socioeconomic status, like that whole part of it is what should be marketed as well. So congratulations. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, judges. Great job, great job. Another round of applause for Springfield Family Doula. All right, so I'm going to give the judges a few minutes to enter their scores, any feedback that you might have, and I'm going to go into commercial break. And I'll pace myself. All right, so with this program, it's a lot of work, and I don't do it alone, so I always say it takes a village. It takes a village to do what we do. So without our mentors, our specialists, our interviewers, readers, judges, our leadership team, we can't do this without you all, so we want to give you a huge thank you for all the work that you've done, your commitment to our program and to our entrepreneurs. Again, it takes a lot. I think we had about 70 applications come in for this cohort alone, and we had some amazing readers who read through the applications. They made it very easy for us to interview. We interviewed 30 individuals for this cohort, and then we chose 13 to 15. But again, without the volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do this program. If you want to get involved, you can visit us at EforAll.org, where you're able to go in and see all the volunteer opportunities that we have to offer. So thank you again, judges. Thank you again, volunteers. We have an event coming up on October 16th, and we are calling it a Toast to Transition. The team here in the Pioneer Valley, before we close out the co-work space that we have on High Street, we wanted to gather all of our friends. So this is a private invitation only. We're inviting our EforAll family. So anyone that has anything to do with EforAll, volunteers, the entrepreneurs, we're inviting you all to come out and hang out with us on October 16th. We're doing it right at the co-work space where a lot of it started. We opened up that co-work space in 2019 when I first started at EforAll. So we're gonna have some light refreshments. I think one of my alums she's gonna be providing the food, which I'm excited about. But if you do want to attend, there's not going to be an Eventbrite. You just kind of send me an email letting me know if you are going to attend. That way we can have a good head count, make sure everyone's covered. But just show up and let's just celebrate all the changes that are happening. As you know, EforAll in 2026, it's going national. We're going to be completely virtual, so our co-work space will no longer exist. But we just want to say thank you to everyone and kind of hang out with you all before the year ends. So up next is Jalissa. A round of applause for me. When you're ready, you let Josh know, okay?
Hi, Josh, I'm ready. Hi, my name is Jalissa. I am the owner of Luxe Cove Studio and Academy. Who am I? I am a longtime entrepreneur. I am a dog mom. It's my dog right up there. And I just really love all things beauty. And before I tell you about my business, I want to take you way back to 2015, where my entrepreneurship journey started. So I was 14 years old, I was a freshman in high school, and I figured out what I now know as a customer pain. Nobody liked school lunch, and we didn't have any machines, so there was a lot of hungry kids. So I decided I was gonna sell snacks right out of that duffel bag right there. And I had everything from chips to honey buns to cookies, I had juices, I had it all. And after my first week, I made $500. When you're 14, that's $1 million. Yeah. Before you can even get your own job at 16. So I love that I was able to create an income for myself. I love that I was able to satisfy the needs of others. And it really opened my mind to scaling. So I went from shopping at Costco to Sam's Club because I got more variety and I got better pricing margins. So that carried me all throughout high school. And nothing lasts forever, unfortunately. So Fast forward, in 2019, I graduated high school. I was a full-time college student. I was working 3 jobs, and as you can imagine, I was very overworked, overwhelmed, and super burned out. So one thing about me, if I don't like something, I'm gonna change it. So that created the spark within me, and I asked myself, how can I take something that I actually really love and turn that into my work? So in October of 2019, I took my very first client in her basement right there. I posted that to Instagram, and it kind of blew up. I got a lot of leads from that, and those leads turned into sales. And by December of 2019, I was able to quit 2 of my jobs.
Oh, yay.
Thank you. Fast forward to 2021, I was able to quit my 3rd job and become a full-time makeup artist. Wow. My grandparents were nice enough to turn their sunroom into an at-home beauty room for me. There's my lovely grandfather working so hard for me. Wow. And I also started teaching. So there's some of my students learning. And in 2023, Luxe Cove and Studio and Academy was born, and I got my first studio suite in an office space in Indian Orchard, where I still am today. So at Luxe Cove, we focus on makeup artistry for birthdays, baby showers, weddings, any special event, you name it, I will do your makeup. We do eyebrow enhancements like eyebrow shaping, tinting. I also teach classes for anyone that wants to learn or aspiring artists as well. And right now I'm currently trying to pivot into PMU, which stands for permanent makeup, specifically for the brows. So who's my customer? I do a couple different services. So I have a few customer segments, but overall, my customers are women ages 25 to 55, looking to look polished and well-groomed and maintained, and wanting to overall save time in their daily routines. What is my value proposition? So I want to bring back confidence in a world full of perfectionism and comparison. I think we all can agree that we live in a world where social media kind of skews our perceptions, especially in younger women. So I want everyone to know you can feel your most beautiful and confident selves. And I also focus on providing luxury services in a space that appeals to all 5 senses. So when you walk into my studio, how are you feeling? How does it look? Is it clean? Is it aesthetic? Is it cozy? The lights are dimmed. How's the ambiance? I really want to focus on the experience and not just the service. And again, I provide that safe space for people to come, learn, and ask questions. And how do I reach my customer? I mainly reach my customer through social media, specifically Instagram. I do collaborations with non-competes like med spas. And I learned through my surveys that a lot of my customers come through referrals or word of mouth. So my accelerator goals, I had 3 accelerator goals. I wanted to create my digital product, my first digital product. I wanted to rent out an empty suite at my studio and take some additional permanent makeup training. And I was able to complete all 3 of those goals. So I created a guide on how you can create your very own 10 to 15-minute makeup routine in the mornings that is solving a customer pain. They are gaining a new skill. They're also gaining confidence from that, and it creates passive income for my business. I rented out that suite earlier this week, actually, to an esthetician. So that, again, is creating passive income for my business. It's helping cover some of those fixed studio costs. And I'm helping an entrepreneur expand their business from being home-based to studio-based. Awesome. And I took my 3rd PMU training in California about 2 weeks ago. So again, that's helping me pivot from those temporary eyebrow enhancements to a more permanent solution. A lot of my clients are busy moms or busy people in general, so they're gaining that time back. If you wear makeup in the mornings, it's one less step. And even if you don't, if you have sparse or light-colored brows, eyebrows are the first thing people see. So it's giving women that confidence back, and it's also a high-ticket service, which ties into my luxury brand. For my stretch goals, I wanted to generate at least $10,000 in revenue a month. I wanted to teach larger group classes. Currently, I teach 2 to 3 people at a time, and I would love to host classes in different states. My 18-month work plan, there's a lot here, so please bear with me. So for Q1, I want to focus on visibility. I have a pretty solid clientele right now, but showing up more consistently on social media, coming up with a solid marketing plan, and going to lots of those networking events. In Q2, I want to focus on my system, so automating those email blasts for better client communication. I would love to transition from a booking site, which I have now, to a full-on website and outsource a social media manager. Quarter 3, I'd love to expand to some more digital products and add some of those different PMU services, maybe like lips. And I would love to host some of those group classes. Quarter 4, I want to scale into doing bundle digital products and hopefully launch full-on online courses. And in quarter 5, expand some more, and I would love to partner with mass hires training programs so that they can come and get trained by me and hopefully start careers in the beauty industry. And in quarter 6, I hope to open a storefront and hire some employees. Financial feasibility and sustainability. So the red represents my fixed and variable costs. Green represents the revenue. So in quarter 1 and 2, I hope to really introduce that PMU service at an introductory rate, and I plan to increase the price as the quarters go on. Quarter 3 and 4, I really want to scale, so gain more of those clients and increase those digital products. And in quarter 4 through 6, just focus on, again, scaling, expanding, raising those prices, and my social impact. So I am supporting other businesses, again, by creating those suite rentals, giving them places to work out of. I'm opening the door for entrepreneurship for other young women who want to follow some sort of the same career path. I'm creating that safe space for anyone that wants to come, learn, whether it's just for yourself or you are wanting to continue your education. And again, I'm building back that confidence up in women in a world full of lots of fake and perfectionism. So my ask, that is my current bed on the left. It's just a bed that lays flat. And as you can imagine, it's not fun to lay on a flat surface like that for 2 to 4 hours. So this bed on the right is an electric bed that's $2,500. It's much better not only on the client's body, but mine too. I can raise it up and down, so I'm not hurting myself as I'm working. And through my surveys, I also did learn that the customers are willing to spend that extra money on, again, that experience, the whole experience, not just the service itself. And there's where you can connect with me. Thank you so much.
All right, judges, you can start asking questions.
That was a great job. You did a great job. What was the digital products you're referring to that you're going to expand digital products? Are those online classes?
Yeah, so the first digital product was a guide on how you can do a quick 10 to 15 minute makeup routine in the morning, something you can fit into your morning routine. Okay. But I can do anything from how to just do your eyebrows, how to match your foundation shade, how to find your perfect lip color, how to fill in your eyebrows. I can expand into so many different things and then bundle those things together as well.
And do you charge, like how, if someone goes on Instagram and they find that, they click on that and then you charge for these classes, like the 10 to 15 minute things, or are people going to be subscribing to?
So in the future, I plan to do subscriptions, but as of right now, it's kind of just like a one-time purchase. And it's great because, of course, I make it one time and I can resell it over and over and over, resulting in that passive income.
Have you thought of collaborating with any of the product lines that you think are really good?
Absolutely, for sure. I've reached out to them a couple times, but the beauty industry is very huge, we know. It's very hard to collaborate with them unless you're like a crazy big influencer with a large following, but we're still hopeful and we still try.
Yeah, got it. Good. Great.
I'm curious, I guess, why you're going to do an introductory rate. It seems like you've been doing this, you're a high-end professional.
Yeah, so I have been doing the enhancement services, the permanent makeup. I've been working and doing apprenticeships. So I can do it on my own starting beginning of next year. So that's why I'm doing the introductory rate. Just because it's a newer service. I have a lot of experience with eyebrows already. This is just tattooing them, like with that machine right there.
Yeah. Do you think you wouldn't get as many customers if you don't offer a discount?
I don't think so, but I did work with a mentor that has done this kind of in a similar way that I have. So that's what she recommended. I'm going to try it out and see, but I don't plan to keep that introductory rate for too long.
I love the educational element to it.
Thank you.
I have a couple of suggestions / questions. Since you're so into teaching, have you thought about connecting with the school district as well, specifically like, are you based in Holyoke? Where are you based?
Springfield.
Springfield. Okay, so Putnam, Dean Tech, they all have some type of beauty program. And prior to this role, I was in a district level position where we used to contract people to do enrichment. So is that something that you would consider? Like, for example, you partner with Putnam, and for one semester you teach their class on Wednesdays different skills and
Absolutely, I'm a Putnam alumni. I am. I did not
Girl.
graduate. I didn't take cosmetology. I took allied health, and I became a CNA. So that's kind of like my background, but I definitely should have done that instead. But hey, we are here, and I would love to partner with them for sure.
Absolutely. Get those procurement contract girls.
If you can connect me, that would be great.
Send me an email.
They do.
And then since people are looking at that question, you cannot sleep on the fact that you even know about Mass Hire already, girl, you're winning.
Girl, I do my research.
Yes. So figure out whatever that relationship is. Even, for example, during the summers, they have a program for youth employment as well, both high school aged and college age too. So I know different art centers and different organizations have used those funds where they're working for them, or they're going to their training program and they're getting paid to do it. So that's something to look into, even not just for them to work for you, but to fill out some of these programs and let them have incentive resources
Absolutely.
as well.
I didn't know that, but we will connect.
We got this. Yes.
Do a lot of people in the area offer services similar to what you do, and what makes you stand out in terms of competition, right? Other choices.
Yeah, so there is a rise with beauty service providers in the industry, but not really makeup specifically. There's only a small handful, but what makes me stand out, these are not my words, these are other people's words. You are the best. I will only come to you. And I truly think it's just my personality. The passion shows through my work itself. The proof is in the pudding. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I took a leap of faith, and I quit my jobs, and I pursued this full time, and it's been really well since then. And I think, again, it just shows through my passion.
What are some things that like haven't worked, or like as you talked about like Q2, Q3 that you're gonna do less of, or you just realize isn't part of your model anymore?
Do less work by myself. I definitely realized that I can't fill all positions myself. I'm a perfectionist and I love things done the right way. But I just realized in order to grow, you really have to outsource. So outsourcing those social media managers, some content creators to come and do that content creation, because that takes a lot of work. It takes filming, editing. It's so much time. So if I can get someone to come do that, it gives me more time to focus on a lot of other areas of the business.
So I've been hesitant to ask because I love what you do, but I'm confused as to, is it the one-on-one work with the clients or supporting the industry?
Yeah, so I do both.
Did I ask that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So you want to grow, you want to train, you want to bring people in, but you're also focusing on the clients. Like, what is your priority? Because you can't do both and be successful at both. So what is your true passion?
Can I disagree and tell you that I can be successful at both?
You certainly can.
Yeah, I've got a lot of no's, and there was only about 3 people that supported me and believed that I can do this business from the beginning. So when someone tells me no, I'm kind of just like, yeah, no, I can. But right now I do both. I focus on the client, but I am focused more on growing my classes, getting more people to come and take those classes, and eventually when I grow within like that area, I plan to pour more of my time into the classes. But right now I'm doing both. I've been doing both, and it's working really well for me.
Right, but there's a transition once you scale one of them. Like, it's just only so many hours in a
Absolutely,
day.
for sure. And that's when I could hopefully hire some employees, some people under me. I can train some people, and they can come in and help.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had one more question slash suggestion thing, because that was a great point in terms of competition. And it seems like, well, you know, you're on social media. It seems like the beauty market in many ways have been saturated. And like over the last few years, like after 2020, like everyone was a lash tech girl for like ever, right? So I'm glad you stuck it out and went through that. If I can make a suggestion as someone who patrons the beauty market in this area, your professionalism and clean girl aesthetic and level of like that part is gonna be what sets you apart. There's a lot of people who, and it's okay to operate out from the home, but you're too young for this. Like I remember when I was younger, we used to go to different stores. I don't know, like Mac had a counter at like Macy's and JCPenney, and we'd get our makeup done there and stuff like that. And there's this whole experience that you would have. There's not many places to do that.
I hear the horror stories every other day.
We have like a lot of traveling beauticians, so they'll come to the home and stuff like that. But I think the more you can invest in your sterile processes, your cleanliness, the professionalism of that studio you own, that can like change the game for you, because we're not getting the full experience in this area as of now. But if you go to New York, LA, you can't go down the street without there being 3 spas or makeup beauty parlors. So that's just my only suggestion. But congrats, girl. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Like maybe off of that, like you have a really good, clear vision of the future for a while. Is this something that you eventually like franchise, or you train people and start taking over Connecticut and other
Absolutely,
places?
for sure. So I did reach a point where maybe like last year I was feeling overworked and burnt out again. So I put some systems in place so that things can work for me again. But eventually when I think it was in Q6, I said I would love to open up a storefront. And in that storefront, I hope to hire some employees and people under me, train them to my liking and my standards so that they can work under me, and hopefully I can franchise and grow from there.
All right, great job.
Thank you.
All right, judges, I'll give you some time to take down your scores. I don't know if you guys were watching last night, but these entrepreneurs are killing it. Wow, you guys make me so proud. All right, so with all the changes, we are still up and running. We have another accelerator coming up in January of 2026. Right now, applications are open. The application is online. So if you have any friends or family that have been inspired by all the work that you have been putting in, your growth, have them visit us at EforAll.org to apply for the next accelerator. The deadline is November 6th. Not 20, Tassos. Yeah, November 6th. It's okay. I was giving you a little bit more time, but I guess the 6th is fine. But if you need some help with that, our ladies are going to be at the co-work space until about the end of October. So feel free to come on down to 193 High Street for some assistance with that. If not, you can always contact the number on the EforAll site. I'm sure they have some people that are ready to help you. I think even through the application process, they have some tech teams that are ready to help you out with the application process as well. So remember, the program starts in January 2026. It's completely virtual, and anyone from the U.S. is able to apply. So spread the word. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. All right, so up next is Alisha. Woo! Come on down, Alisha. You're welcome. You got that? And then when you're ready, okay. When you're ready, you let Josh know, and then we will start.
All right. I have a bit of a cold. Hold on one second. I'm going to be coughing, so. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. All right. Let's go. Oops. Oh, wrong one. Okay. I'm Alisha Allen, and I started Gnütze officially this March of 2025. I've done it a little bit before that on the down low. But what we offer are candied nuts. I don't know if anyone here had those over there, but I put those out. I also wanted to just give you guys the bag to try. You can try at any point.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Feel free to open them. But yeah, that's what I do. But before I really get into that, I'm going to start out with who am I? I've had a lifelong interest in cooking and baking, and I also am allergic to dairy and gluten, which is in everything, which has made me become a very creative in the kitchen, which I really am grateful for in a way, even though it's horrible. But and I've always, like, something about me is that I've always want to make people feel good. When I was in my 20s, my mom and my only sibling passed away at different times. And so I know what it's like to feel the worst of the worst. And my motivation in life is to make people laugh, to make people feel good. So I've always been like, what kind of job do I want to do? What kind of career? Some rejected careers: therapist, masseuse, palliative care nurse, a comedian. I can't do any of those. No, I don't want to do that. I actually love making food for people. My favorite thing is watching you try the nuts and the face you make when you try them. It makes me the happiest. Like, if that paid the bills, I'd be very rich. But the full story of Gnütze and how I got here. So in December of 2023, I had a bunch of bills that I needed to pay, and I needed to also get presents for people for the holidays. Yep. And I decided to make some candied pecans and sell them through my Facebook groups that I'm in, my local ones. And it went so well that I did it again next year, and I had people that bought like 50 packs for like their whole like workforce or workplace or whatever. And I had 2 people who did that. So then I was like, I should do this for real. And 2025 started, and it's all thanks. I also forgot to mention, this is my partner, and she's the reason why I am doing this. Without her, I wouldn't be here. She really was like, you really should do this. This is a good product. People love them. You should definitely keep going. So I thank it all to her. And then secondly, EforAll. But definitely I wouldn't be here without her. And then, so very grateful for her. Before EforAll, I did Hampshire Pride, which was huge for me because that was my first event. And I was really nervous. But I did really well. And I did another event that was all right. But then I started EforAll, and I got paired with my mentors who have given me incredible amounts of like advice, and just I've just learned so much. I feel like I took like a baby a bachelor of management or whatever. I don't know.
Business.
Yes, thank you. Business. Yeah. Yeah. So now, during and after EforAll, I've ended at 6 different events and 2 recurring farmers markets. I'm at the East Hampton one on Sundays, if you ever want to come by. I met with local business owners about wholesale prospects. I got accepted to Atlas Farm in South Deerfield. I'm so excited about that. I made enough money to finally pay myself back for the upstart costs. Just barely. And I redesigned my packaging through survey feedback, which was really fun. Who is my customer segment? People from 15 to 85. I say 15 because you might have money at 15. 85, you might have too much dental work, Right. But people who like to shop local and patronize farmers markets and who love a healthier snack. Yes, it has sugar in it, but it is definitely a healthier snack than a lot of sweet things. Yeah. So my SMART goal progress, my first one was to apply to at least 5 pop-up events and secure a recurring spot at 1 farmer's market between July and September of this year, and I did that. Yes. I wanted to get my products into at least 1 local store by October 2025, and I did that, Atlas Farm. And then the last one was to create a Facebook page and post on Instagram at least 2 times per week from July to September 25. I say 70% done because I didn't post twice a week, but I did create my Facebook page and I have it, and I'm updating people with where I'll be. So it's something to ease into. My daily operations, what does it look like to run the show? So I rent a commercial kitchen in Haydenville and I cook my nuts there. I try to rent like a full day so I can bang out as many nuts as possible. And then for sales, I go to farmers markets and pop-ups. And I also, sorry, I was just reading something. I also, for management duties, I've made my own website from scratch. I use Shopify. They have lots of different like revenue streams, so I'm excited to like look into what that looks like for me. But for management duties, I have to organize that. That took so long to make that, get it up and running. I have to package all the online orders. In the future, I'll be hiring bakers and farmers market, event managers. I think that'll be the key to growing and expanding because I can only do so much in a week, and I would like to be doing more than that. And then also hiring a social media manager to take that off of me because it's a lot of energy for me to do that. We did a survey for EforAll, and I had 47 participants in mine, and my biggest question was like a question asking about, it said, what feature in a snacks packaging would indicate to you that it is more of a luxury product? And I chose matte packaging, reclosable packaging, and packaging with a window, and I integrated it. So this is from before I even started officially. That was my little packet for people. And then I redesigned this. On the back of this, there was a window, and that wasn't like ideal for me. I'd already bought 2,000 stickers, so I was like, I'll just work with it. So then I found these, and this is exactly what I want. And I love the packaging. Makes me really happy. Yeah. My 18th month projections, they're interesting. I have all of the spreadsheet information here. I'm excited to talk more about that. But the dips you see in the quarter ones, I'm just guessing that it's the post-holiday slump. I haven't experienced it yet. But honestly, I think I'll be surprised because I'm surprised at how popular they are in the summer, because they still are very popular in the summer. With what I've done so far, I'm like, wow, okay, people are excited to get them again. It's not just a novelty gift, which I thought it might be. And the projections include hourly salary for myself and for all the hires and for everything. So I have all that in there. My 18th month projections, let me just describe a little bit more. So quarter two and three of next year, that's going to be in my busy season. It's going to be where there's going to be all events at every moment, basically. We have weekday farmers markets. I'll be very busy quarter 2 and 3. And then quarter 4, we're going to get like the holiday gifts. Candied nuts tend to be a type of holiday food, so I imagine that it'll pop up back then. And then quarter 1, the slump again. It's okay. But I'm going to look into commercial renting and revisiting finances and recipes during the slow season because I am very perfectionist with my recipes. I have some savory nuts in the lineup that, sorry, I'm a little thirsty. I'm trying to make a pickled pistachio nut. I'm like 90% of the way there. It's really good. My 2 to 5 year predictions. In 2 years, I see myself renting my own commercial space, having 4 employees, 2 bakers, and 2 event managers, being at 10 farmers markets or events per week. And that could be like anywhere, like any event. Like I imagine that I'd have multiple on the weekend because they'd be special events and just only a couple, because you can only be at so many farmers markets when you're in an area, Strong online presence, vending at most major music festivals, And in 5 years, I see myself, my first successful Big E in 3 years. I would love to do that. I'd like to have a national customer base. I have like 3 national customers, but it's not enough yet. Business that works without any micromanaging, that'd be wonderful. Having 10 employees total, working with social media influencers to increase reach. And then challenges and surprises. Nuts are expensive, no matter how you split it. Right. I've done so much research trying to find the best deal nut that I can get per pound. Costco, it's Costco. It's always going to be Costco. No matter what, I've looked at other suppliers, and they really don't meet anywhere near Costco's rates, which is great because I have a membership. The post-holiday slump, that's a challenge, but I think that the winter's farmers markets will do well because I'll still have like the people that come to see me every week. People tend to spend more in the summer. That's what I've learned. These are great gifts, but they really do work great as a treat yourself moment. Like, oh, I'm hungry. I should get this. My social impact. Sourcing from local farms and businesses at every opportunity. That's really, really important to me, as most of the candied nuts, none of that is locally produced. Like, it's sugar, cinnamon, vanilla. I use chickpea water instead of egg whites. I did use egg whites that were locally made before, but I had to switch because I really wanted to include vegans. And creating jobs, that's really important to me. And my favorite, connecting with the community through farmers markets and events. Nothing makes me happier than having a long, random conversation with someone that I've never met before. I don't know, it does something for me. Small business partnerships, in whatever form that may take. I'm open to anything, really. And donating sales and products to good causes. I did raise $95 for Middle East Children's Alliance a couple weeks ago, so I'm really happy about that. Here's my monetary ask. I'd like $750 for a package filling machine, and it would increase my productivity by 50%, if not more. I need that. And then I would like $1,000 for a professional logo design, because I'm very particular and I don't have a background in graphic design, even though I did make this cute little thing. I don't know. I want a professional. And $250 towards advertising. That would be great to be able to put that out there and know that it's doing something, you know? Mm-hmm. And the last, but most importantly, I think the most important one is the packaging filler, but $500 for recipe testing to create new products, because that's essential. I need more savory nuts, but especially because not everybody eats sugar, and yeah. But thank you. Thank you so much.
Amazing job.
Thank
Congratulations. Judges, you can start asking questions, and Josh will help us keep track of time. Thank you, Josh.
I have a couple questions. Congratulations, this is awesome.
Thank you.
I love how organic your story is in getting here. Have you ever heard of Feel Good Shop Local?
That was my question.
Oh.
Beat you to it.
I've heard of the name, but I'm not familiar. Can you say more?
So Michelle, she's brilliant. She basically wanted to strengthen, actually similar to EforAll, how you strengthen businesses. She strengthened businesses with products. And so she has this centralized platform that it's all businesses from throughout the 413. And I don't know the details. Don can maybe add to it in terms of how you get into her program. But she has this vetting process, but then your products are showcased online, and she helps advertise for them. And I bring it up because I don't know if she did it this year, but I know last year, she actually got a spot in the Big E. She was there this year. She was there this year too. So, well, I know that's right. So she gets a spot in the Big E and then showcases all these products, and a lot of the business owners were able to come. Oh. So, it's a stepping stone to your 3-year Big E plan.
That's exactly what
it's expensive.
Yeah, I know, it's so expensive.
So that was my first question. And my second question is, while I absolutely love that you enjoy people and being there. I feel like you have one of those products. I don't know if this is a good term or not, but like we're in such like a crunchy area that like people really like this vibe. And I'm thinking of so many places. Like I know you didn't mention fall in terms of your heightened season, like it's more like winter and summer, but I take my kids to like McRae's Farms and Atkins Farms and all these places, and all of them have these local stores that has products like yours. So have you thought about connecting with more physical spaces? And I know like Big Y is local, and I've heard a lot of success of people getting their products in there. Just so it's like, yes, being there to sell them yourself, but because there's already an appetite for this kind of thing in Western Massachusetts, I'm wondering how much energy you're putting into getting it in stores.
Yeah, so I'm learning the wholesale numbers game.
Yeah.
And so I know that I can do, like because I sell them for $8 a pack, I know I can do 4 for wholesale. I can do that and I'll still make money. And with that, I have a list of all the little stores that I want to talk to. I talked to Millstone in Sunderland because I live in Whately. I'll probably talk to Muffins General Market. She's literally right next door to me. All those things. I have like a running list of like 30 places though that I think would probably take me. But I also want to make sure that I time it right, because I want to get the farmers markets to keep going. I want them to reorder,
Yeah.
like you don't think, oh, this candied nut is going to blow my mind right now. Nobody thinks that, nobody says that. But then I'm like, would you like to try some? And then somebody does, and they're like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So that's,
Awesome.
it's the timing of it that I want to make sure that I do right. Thank you.
No problem.
So you budgeted $250 for advertising, right. And so I'm just curious how you would spend that, or what kind of advertising you're thinking about.
That's a great question. I think I was just thinking of like smaller social media, like I don't know anything about advertising, to be quite transparent. But I have just seen like, oh, you can boost this and it costs that much money. Like I was just thinking about spending it in that kind of ways where people see my product and like see where I'm going to be. Like I can boost those posts on like Instagram or something. But yeah, I should think about that more. That's like.
Yeah, I think that being targeted, there's nothing wrong with boosting it on Facebook, and $250 would go a long way. But in terms of other advertising, I think that, where you are now, and all of the relationships you're building and the word of mouth is great. And so, I would look at maybe where you should advertise, but I'd be careful about how you're going to spend the money, because I think that you could probably get, if you do some PR around where you're going to be, when you're going to be at an event, even just introducing the product, as a new product launch. So for example, when you come up with some other flavors, do some PR and get it into the hands of the media. And so that way there you'll get some coverage, hopefully, and that costs you nothing.
Yeah. I've heard about that through EforAll, and I'd love to get the news on me for a minute.
We're halfway through, so keep going, judges.
So I used to work with venture partners out of Boulder in Colorado, and there's a ton of like food tech, like kind of how I would think of, you didn't talk a lot about that other than the beginning of your story. Like I started this partly because I'm allergic to stuff, and it was, you said, I think egg whites and gluten?
I'm allergic to dairy, dairy, and
okay.
And all gluten.
So have you found that message like resonates with people, or they just like how it tastes, or?
I don't tell people that they're like vegan or anything unless they're like, oh, I have stomach issues or whatever. And I'm like, oh, me too. I'm allergic to dairy and gluten. And then they're like, me too. And then they try it.
Okay. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I put candied pecans into her lunch and, stuff all the time. I think like figuring out that like value prop with that is a whole different segment. They'll pay more. And then that's also a way you can get into places.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a great.
And they'll pay the $8 or whatever, like your high-end number.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't see it on the package.
Oh, you don't see what?
That it's vegan,
Oh yeah, yeah.
dairy free.
Well,
you
I
did the
also
hard
know
part.
that to like the little vegan symbol, it costs money to put on your product. Like I could just write the word vegan, but since I'm vegan and gluten free, I have dealt with so many people being like, "Does that taste good?" Like when they look at my food that I'm eating, I'm like, "Yeah, it does. I'm eating it. It's delicious."
There's there's vegan subreddits. There's ways you can do that, and maybe you don't hit it over the head, but like that community knows.
Yeah, no, I definitely am gonna redo my packaging again. I have a whole backside of it to fill with like a story, and I have the nutritional facts. I have them ready. I just gotta make sure I format the back like in the way that looks good.
Yeah, I do. I like the packaging.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I used the QR code, and it went right to your website.
Yes.
And I could choose what I wanted to order. You have discounts. She ordered your 50 packages.
Thank you.
When I'm lying in bed, craving those. I noticed on your website you have single bags for sale for $8, and then you have, if you order 3 to 4 bags, you discount it, and then 5 and
Oh, and up, yeah, because that's what I do at the farmers market.
the 3 to 4 bags, is that useful? Because I would think single bags, 5 or more. People might just go to the 5.
Okay.
If they're gonna order 3,
Yeah.
chances are they'll order the 5. You know what
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, this just happened at the farmer's market last weekend. Some guy, we were like, we need more, let's get these 3. And I was like, well, if you ate them in like a minute last time, you should just get 5 because it's a better discount. And they did. Yeah.
maybe do away with that 3 to 4? I don't know.
I think you're right, and I think we'll do that on the website, but I'll keep it the same at the farmer's market so that people can be like, oh, I want this one, and this one. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
You say like most of our second-time customers buy at least 5. Like you start to frame it that way.
I love that. That's incredible.
Yeah, because if I'm gonna go online, I'm not just gonna buy 1 bag.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. For sure.
I tried to set up like a subscriptions situation on there. I don't know if I did, but yeah. I may have taken it off.
Gift cards, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
The Franklin County CDC in Greenfield has a great course that you could take, which is getting retail ready. So that would be how you could wholesale this through distribution, so you can get into small stores and things. So that
Yeah,
could
my
be
mentor told me about that
Yeah,
program.
so
I'm
that would
really
be
excited
helpful,
about it. Yeah.
And the other thing is, regarding the Big E, you would qualify being there and having a booth on Massachusetts Day in front of the Massachusetts building, which is free, and you get to put up a tent, and you get to actually sell, and there's no cost to you, but it has to be a product that's available at stores, which it is. It's
Well,
at
and
Atlas
also
Farms.
it can't be in the building also, right?
No, you could be in the building as well, or you could be
No,
on
I mean
the
like
porch.
if you're outside of the Massachusetts building, it can't be a product that is already inside the Massachusetts building.
You can on Harvest Day.
Okay,
It
cool.
can duplicate, yeah.
Okay,
And it's
awesome.
just one day, but it
Still.
would be a great marketing tool.
Yeah.
And about marketing as well, I don't even know if this is practical, but is there any way you could package one nut and have the QR code on the back? Like, so you could leave, you could, hand them out. Like, remember like individually packaged
Yeah.
mints, years ago?
Yeah.
Is there any way,
I think so. I
where
mean,
you
like
could
I have
give
little
people-
sample like bowls, and they have
something
lids
like
for
that.
them. I could just get lids for them and then get a little sticker and put them on there.
Right.
Hand them out.
Yeah, with a QR code.
Especially if I'm at an event where I can't give out the samples
exactly.
the way that I
Right,
normally
right,
do. I
right,
could
right.
prepackage the samples and do that. And that's a great idea with the QR code. Thank you.
All right. I think we're at time. Let's have another round of applause. Yes, that was awesome. It's so good to meet you. You're so cool. I love it. I love you all. Haven't gotten to meet everyone, so I'm letting Jane take a little break while our judges gather their thoughts for the next entrepreneur. And I mean, we did judges' questions, obviously. But I am up here to thank you all for being here, and I want to give a big round of applause to Jane herself. My Springfield queen. She and I have been together for 6 years.
Wow.
And we have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs. And in case no one has told you today specifically how fantastic you are, I think we're all here to echo that. And I know this is a bittersweet week. It's a bittersweet month. Change is hard, but it's necessary. And we're all super excited for your next chapter. And we're excited for everyone's next chapter. And I also will be helping EforAll on a national level, and I'll be sharing this exciting news with everyone in more detail coming up. But I'm excited to have you all here. It's very bittersweet. I think Jane mentioned it last night, in case she hasn't mentioned it tonight. Every judge that has said yes to us for this event has volunteered in some way, shape, or form. And so it means a lot to us that you are all here. And we're just super excited. So it's bittersweet, but Jane's a rock star. So could not have done this without her. And we're literally both living in the same place that we have lived in, and so you can't really get rid of us. So,
How do we think? Ooh, sorry.
wow. Ooh, Dawn Creighton, get it, girl.
How do we thank you for asking us?
You know, Dawn, great question. Just keep telling people about EforAll. We are only just like serving more people, and we still need volunteers. We always need volunteers, and we are able to help more people. So you just keep bragging about the good alumni of EforAll, and keep shopping local. And thanks, Josh. Let's hear it for Josh, timekeeper. Killing it. That's what's up. All right. I think I've given everyone enough time to, I know. I'm going to be back here for city council things. So, Megan, where you at? Come on down. And just remind you, you let Josh know when you're ready. This button right here sends you to the next slide.
Cool.
And stay as close to the X as possible for the sake of Holyoke Media.
Awesome.
And the microphone.
Cool.
And just let us know when you're ready. Okay. Let's hear it for Megan.
Hi. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about something a little different, wood window restoration. If you've never heard of it, that's okay. We're going to get into it. To be honest, I didn't know about wood window restoration until 2021. It was a Google search, and I saw that there were shops. This was a job. And I got really excited because it sounded like something I wanted to do. I did research. I visited shops, went to conferences. I even rented a room in Lawrence to be closer to a job opportunity so I could get some shop experience. So I just got super excited. Yes, so now I'm starting my business, Megan's Sash Window Revival, and my motto, Saving History's Windows One Sash at a Time, it's become more of a mission. So the business specifically is a wood window restoration service for Western Massachusetts. So these are windows constructed before 1950. It's a full service restoration, so I go onto site, pull the window, bring it back to, there's a pointer, back to a shop space. I have a space at Harwood Restoration right now. I do it like a 12-step process of restoring the window. I use historically accurate materials and some traditional techniques. Then I take the finished product and I reinstall it. A little about me. My name's Megan Spiltoir. I'm a New Hampshire girl, but I moved down here to be with my husband. I got a BA in art history. It's kind of a combination of all the things that I love. And as you do with the BA in art history, I went into the medical fields and human services, of course.
And that worked out well. I got medical benefits and everything. It wasn't what I was passionate about, though. And the pandemic really hammered that in. It got really difficult, especially for my mental health. And in 2021, I decided I really needed a change. So that Google search, Googled historical preservation near me, and window restoration shops popped up. There were 2 within 30 miles of me, and I had no idea what that meant. So I went and visited one of them. I got hooked. I found a window woman who was willing to hire me, and this was the shop over in Amesbury, so I was renting the Ribbon Lawrence to be closer and doing the commute. That was an amazing experience. I committed to a year, but ended up staying for like a year and a half. And that brings us up to this past February. And I came back home full time, and I didn't really have a plan. I was kind of freaking out. But I knew I wanted to start the business, so I found SCORE. I found EforAll, got accepted into the program, and I was super excited. I was on a mission with an idea and a bag of tools, so that's where I started. And then 2 weeks later, Heartwood Restoration, I had reached out to them to show interest, see if they needed any help. I was back in the area with all this experience, and they initially said, no, we're not looking for anybody to come in. It's Jade Mortimer who started the business, and she was looking to phase out and retire, so she's like, yeah, please don't come in. I'm trying to finish stuff up. 2 weeks after getting into the EforAll program, she called me up, said, okay, let's talk, come on in. And ever since then, I've been working with her, and I have the shop space, and it's been wonderful. This is kind of a snapshot of what it looks like in the shop. It starts from the site pull. And this is what I call the deconstruction phase. We're breaking the windows down to its individual parts. So we are getting as much of the glass and the wood and preserving it so that we can use it to build the window back up. And then we're building it back up. We are using the original glass. We're bedding it in the updated and fixed sash. This is an example of a sash. I didn't really explain that. But yeah, we set the glass, we glaze it, prime paint, and bring it back to site and install it. So who needs these services? It's community public buildings like churches and historical societies. Contractors, sometimes we work with contractors. This surveyed group that I did was residential. These tend to be people over the age of 45. Obviously, homeowners of homes constructed before 1950. They have a bigger budget for home improvement, typically $5,000 plus. These are people that value the historical features of their home and really want to restore them. So their concerns, of course, cost of fixing, finding skilled professionals, which actually is kind of difficult, and then the concern of drafts and poor insulation. That is something that I can address. All of these are really important to know when talking with the customers and listening to their needs and addressing them. So these are actually 3 examples of the 3 different segments. This is a summer residence for a family. I worked with a contractor here to do the side lights. And this is a church in Ashfield. All 3 of these, they were done under the Heartwood name, but I had the opportunity to work on most of them from start to finish in the shop and helped with the pull and install. All right, so goals. During the class, I had the goal of creating a visual presentation. I want something to be able to bring out to the public and show to, give awareness and also explain why it's worth saving these windows. And my other successful goal, connect with the vendors. Tools and supplies are very important for this job. So having relationships with the people supplying all these things is very important. It's really good also to have relationships with them. They could become referral providers. The social media, I really tried forcing this. I was not as successful. It's not natural to me, to be honest. But also, after a few classes, I realized maybe social media isn't as important to this job. They're looking for skilled professionals, and the best way to show that would really be like some professional videos, some nice professional photos for a professional website. So I can really show not only do I have the skills, I'm working, am competent, and complete something. So I am pivoting towards the video. And of course, I became a member of Holyoke Media, and hope to be working with them. Hey. Yes, thank you. My stretch goal, I would love to have a van that's set up like a mobile wood shop. This would allow me to expand my service area. I'm starting in Western Massachusetts, but really want to go beyond in the future. And it would also allow me to expand my services. I can bring more tools on site, do a wider array of services to touch other budgets. So going forward, my lead safe cert is going to be very important. That allows me to go on site and work by myself without somebody else with the certification. I'm going to keep working on my website and, of course, for my relationship with Holyoke Media. Second quarter, at the beginning of the year, I want to start accepting projects under the LLC. Of course, I need to make sure that I have my insurance in place and legal counsel for the contracts that I write up. I'm going to start taking the presentation on tour, so to speak. I want to bring it to like libraries, historical societies, anybody who wants to listen, because anybody can have appreciation for the windows, really. Keep working on videos. And then getting into the spring and for the next year, I have some goals as far as revenue, which I'll get into the projection with those, but also continue with the videos. And hopefully next year, I want to introduce another service. Thank you. So I can touch upon that too. So this is kind of the customer pathway. No matter how they reach out to me, I want to have a phone call with them to make sure that the project is something that I can work on and that I'm qualified. If that is something that I want to work on, I'll go out to the site for an estimate visit, get eyes on the windows, get all the conditions and everything that needs to be worked on so I can come up with the best estimate for the person. If we can agree on prices, come up with a contract, and it's really important to determine all the things that I will be doing on the window and the things that I will not be doing on the window. And then, of course, work on site. Communication is key. Communication. And then once a project is done, getting feedback from the customer, hopefully a good review, and collecting final payment. Tracking summary is also important. Time tracker. I'm keeping track of all the time for all of the different steps that I'm taking because that's a big part of the pricing for me. But having these drafted forms are really helpful in streamlining documentation, collecting all the information, keeping track of things. All right, so I used one sash as my product example, and I used a 6-light, which really just means 6 pieces of glass in the sash. And I use that because it's kind of like a middle of the road, average size, and it's very common for residential. $800 is the estimated cost for one sash. So I know for the second, third, and fourth quarter, I need to have at least 6 sash per month completed in order to meet my revenue goal. And then, let's see, for the fourth and fifth, 7 to 8 sash would get me to my revenue goal. Social impact. I just wanted an excuse to do some work with Habitat for Humanity. I love them. My presentation, of course, bringing it out and helping to educate and spread the word about wood windows. And apprenticeship, to me, it's going to be really important to pay it forward. I have had so many people so generous with their time, skills. This is Allison from Window Woman, Earl from Window Woman, and this is Jade, who I work with now. I want to have a shop in the future where I can apprentice people and really help train the next generation of window restoration specialists. Don't have time to talk about this, but I'm a member of the WPA, the Window Preservation Alliance, and they make a really good case for saving windows. Safety concerns, there's a lot of stuff that I need to keep track of in the shop. Lead, of course, is one of the big things. Asbestos, sharps. So just making sure that I'm avoiding injury. And I bring up safety concerns because it's a big part of my ask. I would like to get better fitting equipment, and the safety glasses would be really helpful. The lead safety class is $275. I'm signed up for a November date. And then just rounding off my hand tools for now without the vehicle, having a good bag to bring out on the road with me. And then startup costs, which includes insurance and print materials for my presentation. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Sorry, I went over. So there's tons of stuff I didn't even touch upon, but yeah.
Great job, Megan. Judges,
Thanks.
questions?
I'm curious if you've thought about if you would buy Window Woman. Is it Window Woman? Sorry.
Window. Yeah, she's not retiring anytime soon, but really,
okay.
Jade, the one who is at Heartwood. Yeah, that's everybody who hears this story is like, yeah, buy the business. And we have talked about it, something that's come up. She's kind of been looking for somebody to buy it, but hasn't found the right person. And I was like, me, I'm the right person. So things have been going really well, and hopefully that's something that happens, yeah. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Community Preservation Act with our state?
With the state, no.
Girl, let me tell you. Okay. So, first of all, wonderful place to pick your business in New England. We have so many windows that need that special treatment that you literally need a skill for, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing I thought of was like, yes, because in my world, we're having all these conversations about reimagining our relationship with labor, especially with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the conversation keeps circle back to like there's certain things that AI just can't do. And some of the skill, creative work is one of those things. So this is viable skill set. But Community Preservation Act. So basically, we have this thing where based off of some little bit of taxes, municipalities can create this kind of grant process and development process where on a yearly basis, Massachusetts wants municipalities to invest in historical preservation and things of that nature. And so in these funds, different people who own homes or buildings can apply for stuff very specific like window detailing. And they're always looking for vendors and things of that nature. So I wonder what your relationship with your business could be with these community preservation committees across the state. So like when they're getting these applications, like you can be a natural referral. On top of that, similar to the classes from earlier, thinking about there has to be procurement contracts for these things for from the state side. So figuring out whatever you have to do, I don't know if you have your woman business certification or whatever.
I was going to bring that up because that would also open up a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, and I know we just opened up, I'm not a part of the city, but Springfield just got the first supplier diversity office outside of Boston. So right in downtown Springfield, they have lots of supports for businesses to get those certifications with the SBA. And then also the goal is to streamline more people into procurement contracts. So that wasn't really a question, but yeah.
No, that was awesome. Thank you. I feel like everyone's going to connect with you for information later. So I would love to talk about that.
Absolutely. Send me an email.
Okay.
You're going to be
loaded with emails tomorrow.
That's my daily life.
Have you found any direct paths to like reach customers, or is it coming through contractors? You know, what does that mix look like?
A lot of it's very much relational marketing and word of mouth. And forming relations with like the historical societies and making sure that I'm on directories. People often know that they need something niche and need some skilled help. So they will either do a Google search or ask people that they know who would be able to direct them in that direction. And that's kind of my job, to find the people who can point people in the right directions and make sure that I have good relationships with them and make sure that me and my business is known to them. But yeah, word of mouth seems to be the biggest thing, and the directories. Everybody that I've had call me so far found me on the WPA directory. But yeah, I'm hoping with the presentation, I'm getting out there and meeting people, and people who have a genuine interest in the older homes come out, and it's really painful when I hear that people aren't even aware that this is an option. So yeah, just getting out and talking to the people. Go where the people are.
Have you connected with the Home Builders Association at all?
No.
No, that's somebody you would definitely want to connect with.
Okay.
But they're not in Springfield anymore.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are? Where are they? Remember that old building?
They moved out of the building that revitalized CDCs, but they're still in Springfield. They just downsized.
Oh, okay.
I'll make sure to get Jane their information and get to you.
Okay, yes, thank you. Awesome.
I'm also wondering, too, if you were to reach out to realtors, or if there are any realtors who specialize in historic homes. But that may be another avenue for you to make contacts.
Yeah, I believe there was a real estate couple down in Connecticut that specialized in older homes, but real estate agents in general are great at networking and really getting to know like the housing market and new homeowners and people who would be looking for that. And I would even be willing to talk to real estate agents to help educate them on stuff like that, so they know about the value and why it's worth saving them. That would be good.
Do you see, like, I think you kind of alluded to, there's like this gap of this skill set. Do you see, like, if there was 10 of you, you could take over New England, or?
Yeah. There are actually surprisingly large amounts throughout New England. But this part of Massachusetts, really, there isn't, other than the two shops that are in like Charlemont and Greenfield. I don't know of anyone doing it in the Berkshires at all. So if I had a good team, we could definitely rock this side of the state. But yeah, there's a lot of the people, like the three people that I feel like have basically been mentors to me. All three of them are going to be retiring very soon. There's a huge group of them that are going to be retiring within the next 5-10 years. And so there is a big movement to get more people, like I'm 40, so people my age, like middle-aged people, and then even younger. Like it's a big movement, and there's a lot of excitement around it, especially for like women getting into the trades. So I feel like there are people getting into it at the moment, and I would love to have like a team and a group that we can go out and service all of New England.
I feel like your skill is just so specialized. My dream would be for you to be like on all the referral lists. So like even like I just mentioned the Preservation Act, but like I'm thinking about some of the grant programs or even some of the organizations that consistently work with the state. So like in Springfield, that will be Home City Development, where they have the projects that they build, but they refurbish a lot of different spaces. And then on the state side, we have this like One Stop for Growth program that's like multiple grant programs in one. And the one that I'm thinking of is the Underutilized Properties Grant Program, where they're giving out money every year to refurbish things. So I'm trying to figure out who's that person that you need to be connected to, that as this money is constantly flowing, they're like, oh, let me call her up so she can get this contract, because you're right, I can't. I just had a recent experience of my parents have all this very old furniture, and they want to rebuild one of the couches, and the closest thing is like basically in New Hampshire. So I'm assuming, like you said, it's the same thing for windows and that scale. So figuring out, like, especially where the reoccurring dollars are, who are the people that need to know your name and your business so that they can constantly be referencing you.
Yeah, there are definitely a handful of towns that have like the historical districts and just beautiful historic main streets. So those would be really good to like focus on with my presentation. But yeah, there are groups that like there is a Pioneer Valley. I don't remember the name of the group, but yeah, different groups that I can
get your name to
get
them.
definitely get a relationship with, so that my name comes to mind when things like that pop up.
I had a client in Springfield who did what you do, and her largest client was the Diocese of Springfield. So I think to think about, you know, the Diocese of Worcester, you know, and towards the end, that was about all she could afford to take on, because between all the different churches, there was just a lot. And what she had been impacted by, which was interesting, she was fine though, because she was on the church side, was that, you know, more people that were homeowners because of utility costs were sort of doing like the mass save program. So they were basically trying to get rid of some of these old windows because they were drafty and leaky and single pane as opposed to triple pane. And so she had found difficulty there, but again, transition to the diocese. And you can imagine that that's all anybody would need to have really full-time work.
Yeah, there is a lot of demand. There are a lot of shops that have projects scheduled out for like a year. So there's a lot of wait lists. But yeah, as far as like the mass saves, that's come up with the WPA multiple times, because that happens in other states. Just somehow getting the information out that you can weatherize and update an older window to be comparable and just as efficient as a lot of the replacements. So, and of course, replacements are my biggest competition. So,
And again, contacting Mass Save would be brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Because if, in fact, because there are incentives if you upgrade the windows. So if a homeowner could use the incentive as opposed to spending the money with Window World, but doing it with you, they would have something that would be historically accurate for the home, but also would have been upgraded for, you know, weather conditions. So I think the Mass Save program would be a great place to contact.
that would be really interesting.
Right, they pay for half of it. So that's the
But they take the
question, like,
windows.
you know, then you'd have a real competitive edge to say, I can, you know, I could make your home remain, you know, authentic to the period in which it was built, but you can still access the rebates of Mass Save. You know,
If I
so
could get
getting
through to
on
them, that would be
list,
awesome.
you know?
Yeah, that's the goal, for sure.
Have you been interviewed or thought of pitching an article for any industry publications?
No, not yet. But yeah, we did talk about like different press options, and I would love to get my story out there.
All right, time's up. Thank you. Another round of applause for Megan. Great job. One more round of applause for all the presenters. Thank you. As our judges wrap up here, we just want to say a big thank you to Holyoke Media for hosting us. They've been hosting us for about 4 to 5 years now. So thank you so much for always having us and just making sure everything runs smoothly. A huge, and also Showcase and Celebration that's happening on October 23rd. Please come out. Anyone streaming in, invite your friends, invite your families. We want to have the whole community out here to see you guys. So this is happening, again, October 23rd at 276 Bridge Street in Springfield, Mass. Our keynote speaker is going to be Ray Berry. It's going to be a great time. And then if you haven't followed us on social media, we are on Instagram and Facebook and also LinkedIn. Maybe not Twitter, right? No. Who knows? All right. But anyways, follow us. Just stay tuned on what we have going on, some events, everything that's changing with the organization as well. It's going to be some exciting, new, and great things. And another round of applause for our judges for being here tonight, asking some amazing questions. Thank you. And we want to make sure that we take pictures of all the entrepreneurs. We have this amazing backdrop. And judges, we want to take some pictures with you too. And thank you, everyone. That's a wrap. Yay.